Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekly reroll, the show where we recap what happened this week in D&D. Now, Misclicks is on hiatus for a month or so while Stephanie trains for Counter-Strike, and Dicing with Death had to be postponed on Saturday. Oh god, that was weird. Okay, hold on. Woo. Dicing with Death had to get postponed on Wednesday for some reason, and then I couldn't do it Friday because I was out of town. So there's no Dicing with Death that happened this last week either. We just have Roleplay Solemn and Honorbound. So without further ado, let us head into Roleplay Solemn. What happened this week? Roleplay Solemn was kind of an eventful week. They left Caldera, not Caldera, I'm sorry, they left Port Taylor, the town that they had been staying at. After a couple of things here and there happened, Victorian got his plate mail, Tariq got his knighthood, Zanzel got his assistant, Tariq also got a squire, Lord Rictar's son Reptar is now Tariq's squire, which I'm thrilled about. Yeah, so after gathering these things together, they head off south so they can try and go down south and then head east to the blah, blah, blah. And their progression is they're actually making pretty good time. They take a boat, they go pretty quickly, they get where they need to go. But after traveling for a little bit, they start to see these campfires on their tail behind them, but big campfires, not just like one or two people camping out of the woods, because that shit happens all the time, but dozens and dozens of campfires. And so they use some magic to kind of like figure out what's going on. And they hear a very large contingent of orcs. Not like, 100,000 soldiers or, 1,000 soldiers even. Not like an army of orcs, but a large encampment of orcs seems to be trailing them or following them somehow. At least they're following them on this part of the road right now. The party has a discussion. They're like, you know what? If there's this many orcs behind us right now, they're probably not just a random band of orcs that are passing through. They're probably looking for us. All right. Rather than run from them, let's fight them. Let's ambush them along the trail, try and engage them early. Excellent. So that's what they plan to do. Anyway, they set up this ambush. They set up this battle, and it is a pretty rough battle. It lasts a long time because there's about 120 orcs ish, roughly, fighting the 6 party members. Well, 4 party members plus their 2 assistants. Plus, then you've got the girl, not the girl. What's her name? New Carla. I forget New Carla's name. Helen. Whatever. New Carla with the baby who's back in town. So the battle is pretty long. It's pretty bloody. The party takes a lot of damage, but they end up on top in the end with, Zanzel's throwing fireballs, Zanzel and Leia throwing lightning bolts. Victorian's got a horn of blasting. Tariq has 3 attacks per round with a 2-handed sword. It's a mess because the orcs are all pretty weak creatures. And even if there's a lot of them, they still take a bunch of damage. But, you've got like 50 orc archers who get 2 shots each. So that's like 100 arrows fired in a single round. So it's a lot of damage. But, Victorian's got AC like 24 and Tariq's got AC 21. So the orcs actually need a natural 20 to hit them most of the time. And it's just, it's a mess. But with the terrain getting destroyed via dig spells and via explosions and via all these fun things, the orcs eventually get routed and flee. The party gets their shit together, loots some corpses, breathes a big sigh of relief, and heads back into the town. The town they're staying at is Willow Creek, if you want to find it on the map, which is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like it's like 10 days south of crossing Lake Tasia. So that's where roleplay is right now. They're in Willow Creek, hanging out, and we'll see where they go because we've got roleplay today, so stick around for that. But that is that for Roleplay Solemn. Let's move on to Honorbound, Redemption of the New Guard. We just played this last night, yesterday afternoon, yesterday morning, whatever. And where do we go? So we started, we have, what's his name? Oh god, I've already forgot. It's not Justin, it's not Jackson, it's not Jasper, Jexel, the dude, oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. His name starts with a J. It's not written down anywhere. I can't remember his name right now, and I feel embarrassed about that because we were just spent all this time dealing with him. But anyway, we have the head of the black market who we've been searching for. We have the jeweler of a dwarf who we've been searching for. We've got them together, and we start to head back to the capital, or not the capital, to the keep at the center of town, so we can like present him to the king for trial and blah blah blah. But but first we have to rest and wait and heal up and stuff, and we interrogate him, ask him some questions. He's not being very cooperative. We're trying to figure out exactly how we're going to go about this, and eventually we decide, just fuck it, we're going to tie him up and walk him down the street, and we do. But then these people appear on the rooftops and, in a single round, kill the dwarf that we're taking and then just disappear and can't be found. And then, a few less than a minute later, we run into a big patrol of guards who come through, take our prisoners away, and take them to jail. We follow them. We talk to the king. There's some problems. There's some struggling. We yell at him. We argue with him. The king turns out to be a bitch, a cowardly guy. He's like, oh no, I can't afford to upset these people, but I can do all these other things, and I have to do this, but I can't do that. We wreck the king. We make fun of him. We taunt him. We, poke him in the face. He eventually releases Haggard. No, his name is still not Haggard, but I call him Haggard, into our custody, and asks us to go, do this thing. To which we go, fuck you, king. You're useless and annoying and a terrible ruler, and we have no reason to help you whatsoever. See you later. So when we talk to Haggard, he's like, oh, well, will you take us back to my house? Can you take me back home? What was me? I've been captured. I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's do that. Totally. Yeah, we're headed back there anyway. Totally. We'll take you. You're a cool guy. And then Haggard tells Justin's character, while Ryan and my character are out, that he's 2,000 years old. Well, Justin doesn't take that well, and he and Haggard proceed to drink themselves stupid. Then we ride back to town. After a bit of arguing about horse movement rates, for the record, everyone out there, horses can travel extreme. Like, you can easily ride a horse 40 miles in a day. That's not a problem. That's something that can be done very easily and regularly. You can horses in endurance races, like steep, rugged terrain, like the Tevis Cup terrain, you can still do 100 miles in like 14 hours, 15 hours, easy peasy. I mean, not easy peasy, you have to have like a good horse trained for it, but you can push a horse 100 miles through rugged terrain in a day if you've trained for it, which means you could probably take your average normal horse, unladen without a person, a pretty great distance in a day. Anyway, this was a big sticking point in the campaign. You should watch the episode because it was hilarious, us arguing about horse movement rates, or at least it was hilarious to me. Maybe everyone else was fed up with it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The point is, we get back to where we're headed, Golden Sword. We learn that he's 2,000 years old, and Ryan and I kind of mostly think he's crazy and insane and doesn't make much sense. But then he starts talking about worshiping the old gods and how he's this druid, and we're a little bit concerned about it. And while we're checking out this white stone, there's a ceremony going on, and all of a sudden we hear some screaming and some noises, and we look back, and there's this group of goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, and an elf attacking Golden Sword. So we go to defend it, and eventually we do defend it at the cost of many of Golden Sword's inhabitants, but we save the city, and we save the day. And that's where we are in Honorbound. We are back in Golden Sword. We are with Haggard, the 2,000-year-old druid who turned into a bear. We have some questions about him. Why did he get captured? If he's this powerful of a druid, how did he get captured? Why did he just let himself hang out in prison? He's 2,000 years old. He should be able to escape out from prison by now, right? We have a bunch of questions about this guy. And, of course, the person attacking us, also the guy that we captured whose name starts with a J that I can't remember, they have this silver hammer tattoo on their wrist, which was the same tattoo that the guy who was looking for the mace had. But now we've killed two of them. The J guy's left in jail to rot, and we're not sure what we're going to do. We haven't decided whether we want to go root out these silver hammer people or just go off and do our own thing. We're not sure where we're going right now. We're just kind of like sitting in the carnage of the aftermath. Ryan is level 2, Justin and I are level 3. So that is Honorbound, Redemption of the New Guard. And that's our show. We will not be doing cartography after this. Normally we do cartography, but my weekend's been crazy. I've been planning wedding stuff, so I haven't had a chance to sit down and plan Solemn for this week, and Solemn's happening in a few hours, so no cartography, nothing else between now and now and Solemn, because I have to go do Solemn planning. So, see you guys for Roleplay Solemn on JP's channel, and see you guys next time here for some fun streaming stuff. Bye-bye.